The whale jaw, de walviskaak. The amazing whale jaw is the most famous object architect Maurice Nio designed at the start of the century. It is a cross between white modernism and black baroque. The building is completely made of polystyrene foam and polyester and measures 50 by 10 by 5 meters. Due to the high maintenance costs, a lively debate is ongoing discussing the future of this interesting object. Nio was known for his designs of viaducts, tunnels and bus stops along the public transportation route from Haarlem to Schiphol. Sadly, he recently passed in 2023 at 63 years old. Time for my photography tribute while it exists. It's time to prepare my camera gear. I chose for a mix of both film cameras and digital. Starting off with a Ricoh TLS 401 and the Ricoh 28mm 2.8 wide-angle lens. In addition, I'm also taking along a Shinnon 28mm 2.8 lens. Why? Because I have the right adapter to fit on a polarizing filter, which I might need. I'm also taking along a camera I haven't been using for quite some while, which is the Fujifilm X-S1, a bridge camera back from 2011. I'm also taking along my Rollei 35 LED and of course my Fuji X10, and last but not least also the Taier 11-2 133mm 2.8 lens with a polarizing filter. So this is all the gear that I'm taking along for this assignment. Well, as you can see, it all perfectly fits into my camera bag. Let's close it up and get going. When I arrived at the location, I was very glad to see that the whale jaw is still there. And I'm now going to enter the parking garage in which I photographed model Julissa back in 2012. Here are a few examples. And these photos were taken with the same Fujifilm X-S1 as that I have with me today. Right, entrance of the parking garage. Let's grab a ticket and drive all the way up to the top deck to get a good overview of the location and how the whale jaw is situated. It's a long way up, so let me speed up the process for you. It was a shame on the top deck that I could not look over the railing, so I went to a lower level. This is level 2, walked over to the railing so at least I can give you a feel for the location and how the whale jaw is situated. The following 2 photos were made with the Fuji X10 and I think it was level 4 or level 5 of the parking garage. I used the Fuji X10 in black and white with a green filter. On ground level we can see that this whale jaw is in need of some serious restoration. And as you would expect, the inside looks better than the outside. I started off with the Fuji X-S1, and I'm glad I took it with me because I thought initially that I would primarily be using my wide-angle lenses, which would not be the case, and here are some examples. I'm actually very satisfied with the sharpness and the color and contrast of using the Fujifilm X-S1. It's quite an old camera with 10 megapixels, a camera that was presented to me as a gift back in 2012. Then I moved over to using the Fuji X10, of which I'm now going to be showing you 4 photos. This one was made at the 28mm wide angle, the XS1 goes to 24, the X10 to 28, and I love the black and white with a green filter, and here's the last panorama photo. And I've also taken some photos with my Rollei 35 LED. The film's not full yet, so I will present them to you in a later video. Well, to be honest with you, I learned a lot during this self-assignment. Initially, I thought I would primarily be using my wide-angle lens for this architectural photo assignment. And when I was on location, walking around this building or this object, I thought, you know, it's not all about the wide angle in this situation. I'm also going to be using a telephoto lens. And that surprised me somewhat. I know that you do not always need a wide angle but also a telephoto lens for architectural photography, but for some odd reason it caught me off guard. And I did quite a lot of preparation work, choosing the right gear to take along. And eventually I ended up, I think for about 80% of the photos, using my old dated Fuji XS1, a 10 megapixel camera back from 2011. And I hadn't used that camera for years. So it surprised me, but it also saved my assignment. The interesting thing about the Fuji XS1 is that it also has a maximum wide angle of 24 millimeters, which is wider than all the lenses I have available for film photography and wider than the 28 millimeter on the Fuji X10. So on both sides, the XS1 turned out to be the best choice. And I did quite a few teleshots. And I also discovered the versatility of using a zoom lens. I'm not very fond of using zoom lenses because I know they are inferior with regards to image quality in comparison to fixed focal lenses. But in this specific situation, it was so easy to make the right composition using a zoom lens. So yeah, I learned a lot, but I guess that's what you do when you give yourself a self-assignment. And I really enjoyed myself, and I was there for about the whole day, and I only paused 2 or 3 times in between to grab a cup of coffee and to think about the camera that I wanted to use and the compositions that I wanted to achieve. But anyway, all in all, I'm satisfied, and I'm looking forward to finding a second subject soon for a second self-assignment. Because I love cameras, but more than that, I love photography. So you're going to be seeing more of these videos on my channel. Thank you for watching, greatly appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye.